Boom. Monday, October 28th. Boom, boom. I know the date because I looked it up because I cheat. And this is day 13. Ooh, day 13. Am I crooked? I am not a crook. Something like that. By hook or by crook. Something like that. Who cares? Nobody cares. So we're finishing the top shelf today, and I'm very excited because there's 2 movies that I want to introduce you all to if you haven't had a chance to be introduced to them. But woo, this is my pile going right here. Yeah. And I'm going to put those 2 over to the side so that I can introduce you to them later. Now, I decided to grab this one, Devil's Advocate. It's horror-ish, I would say, because Mr. who is it? Al Pacino plays the devil up here. And I mean, look at him. Look at him. And he, like, manipulates Mr. Keanu Reeves here, who should use the power of the Matrix to save himself. Maybe he does. It's a crossover. No one knows. He is the one. I saw this in theaters, so, I mean, the fact that it's not open is fine, because I saw it in theaters. And I made my friend, late to meet his mom, and she was mad. Because he wanted to go, and I'm like, the movie's not over yet, hold on. I'm like, I paid to watch this movie, I'm gonna watch this movie. Yeah, and then his mom was mad, because we were late meeting them at the mall, but it's like, it's my fault, sorry. But yeah, so he's the devil, and he plays a very good version of the devil, I would say, in this movie. Very fun version of the devil. And, you know, Keanu Reeves is trying to be the up-and-coming next, you know, big something, business, you know. Of course he wants fame, maybe not fame, but fortune, definitely, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know, the devil is nipping at his heels to give him what he wants, but, you know, of course the devil wants something else. So, but it's a very good story. It's more, I would say, drama than anything. It's not, I don't necessarily remember there being very many scary parts in this, but I guess I would put it in the horror genre since, you know, he's supposed to be the devil. You know, there's a little bit of a supernatural tint to it, I suppose. Now this one, shiny slipcover, look at it, hide and seek, shiny slipcover on the back. Unfortunately, and the door is like raised on this. Unfortunately, as usual, I don't remember. Robert De Niro and Dakota Fanning send pulses racing in this genuine scarefest that, according to the Calgary Sun, I didn't say that, that's not my quote, that delivers terrifying twists and a shocking surprise ending. Now that you know it's a surprise ending, it's not going to be that much of a surprise because you're going to be expecting it. You're like, oh, there's a surprise twist ending? Okay, fine. Every horror movie has a surprise twist ending. Don't give me that bullshit. Pretty much all of them do. Like, wank, wank, whatever. I don't know why I can't get that to come out. It's stuck. The movie is stuck in the slipcover for some reason. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. At their new home in upstate New York, newly widowed psychologist David Calloway, De Niro, tries desperately to help his traumatized daughter Emily, Fanning, deal with her mother's death. But before long, both David and Emily are being terrorized by someone or something named Charlie, a friend who may or may not be imaginary, but is definitely the stuff nightmares are made of. Not ready or not, you'll be jumping out of your seat. Richard Roper. Roper like this. There again, I don't know why it's stuck. Why is it stuck? Did something get spilled on this? It's very possible. That's very possible. I don't even know where it's stuck. I can't get it out. It doesn't want to come out at all. Same. Anyway, I don't remember this movie, so I can't tell you if it was good or not. But I own it, and it has a fancy slipcover, so Of course I own it. It has a fancy slipcover. This one, I know I saw this one, and that's why I bought it. Art of the Devil. But unfortunately, I don't remember it, even though I watched it, and apparently I liked it enough to buy it. Love him, own him, kill him. In modern-day Thailand, witchcraft is not something to be taken lightly. In fact, there are dire consequences if you do. When a millionaire spurns his pregnant mistress, she... and then the rest of it is covered up with this giant-ass sticker on the back. Who? Oh, here we go. Let's just peel that off. When a millionaire spurns his pregnant mistress, she places a deadly curse on his entire family. Soon each family member dies in a decidedly brutal fashion. The police are puzzled, but an observant and open-minded reporter might be just the guy to unlock the mystery. This absolutely relentless Thai thriller, making its American DVD debut, boasts enough gruesome and shocking imagery for 10 horror films. I want to say they've made like 3 of these. I don't recall if I've seen the other ones. And I don't really remember this one. It's got a slipcover too. See, the DVD's in there. And the slipcover. The whole thing's a slipcover. And I bought it for $9.99 at Hastings. I miss you, Hastings. Rip Hastings. I liked it enough to buy it. So that, you know, says something, I think. Even if I can't remember it or anything about it. So, ta-da, there you go. Okay, Camp Utopia. I'm deciding what to say about this, because I have to give props to the person who turns out to be the psycho in this. Oh my god, do they ever sell it for you know, this, you know, low-budget B movie. Tune in, turn on, drop dead. And Stephen Percy as Timothy Bach. He's like some kind of like hippie guru kind of. He has like a commune or something, and then like I think they end up murdering each other or something. And then, well, let me just read the back. That'd be the easiest. In 1969, in a small hippie commune in Northern California, Timothy Bach, a self-proclaimed guru, maintained a hypnotic hold on his followers. On June 23rd, something went terribly wrong in the Free Love and Peace commune. In an apparent drug-induced frenzy, Bach began slaughtering his followers. He then disappeared into the night, never to be heard from again. More than 30 years later, 5 teenagers returned to the site of Camp Utopia, and now what happened back then is happening again. Has the evil cult leader returned, or is it something worse? I think there's like a plane going over. There's a plane going over, and my furnace turned on at the same time, so there's a lot of noise going on at the same time. I'm like, wait a minute, what's going on? But this is low budget. I can't really necessarily say that's suspenseful or necessarily that good. It's somewhat paint by numbers, but the person who turns out to be the psycho at the end, I really wish that person would have went on to do more, because they sell the fuck out of it once they hit it, and it's just like, that's the whole reason. Like, I just skip through the entire movie and go to the last few scenes where, you know, we get to the person who turns out to be the psycho, because god damn, they do a great job in this. And I don't want to say who it is, because I don't want to give it away, but that person, unfortunately, as far as I know, no one from this movie has really gone on to do anything. Jessica Jordan, Colin Stark, Alexandra Westmore, James Foley, Sarah Megan White. So, unfortunately, as far as I can tell, nobody from this movie actually went on to do anything. But the person, if you happen to come across this review at any point, you know who you are, you know you played a psycho in this movie, and you did a fucking amazing job as far as I'm concerned. Like, that's the only reason, I bought a copy of this movie, just so that I can watch the end every once in a while. And, enjoy that. So now, the movie, I've definitely seen this. I definitely love it. Everyone should fucking watch this shit. Motherfucking Misery. Motherfucking Misery. I had not seen this. I knew of it. And, like, it just pulled me in. Like, it gripped me. It was just so suspenseful and so, a little spoilery here. But, my reaction to, because there's a point where, well, I mean, I assume people know the story of Misery. He's a writer, and she's his #1 fan, and she's fucking insane. Which is, Kathy Bates is amazing in this movie. She's so good, she's so good, she's so good. And I enjoy her on American Horror Story as well. But in this, she definitely, just like with the last movie, like, the crazy person sells it so hard, and it's so amazing. But he actually, he tries to get out at one point, but he's in a car accident, and he's like, he can't move, but he has his little chair, and she's psycho crazy, and he's trying to get out, and while he's trying to get out, she comes back home, and so he's rushing to get back to bed before she knows that he's been trying to get away. And he knocks over one of her figurines, and he puts it back wrong. And I'm like, oh my god, you put it back wrong. I started flipping out, I started freaking out. I'm like, she's gonna know. Like, this movie drew me in. It gripped me so hard, and it held me until the end, and it was quite a ride the whole way. And if you have not seen Misery, it is definitely a must watch. Must watch. Includes new interviews with cast and crew and more. It's really fucking good. Really fucking good. Just gotta say, The Other Side. Who did this? Greg Bishop. Greg Bishop did this. Did I come across this on Netflix? I can't remember. Greg Bishop, this movie was really good, I remember, and I had to look up. Greg Bishop has done another movie or two, I can't remember, and I wanted to check out his other movies because he did such a good job with this one. Not that I can tell you that much about it or that I remember it, I just remember it was good enough that, like, I had to own it, and I had to look up more Greg Bishop movies. Jamie Alexander is in this. Isn't that Sif? Lady Sif? Pulse-pounding excitement. Greg Bishop may be the next big thing in horror movies. Fast-paced, creative, and entertaining. On the night Sam North, Nathan Mobley, plans to reunite with the girl he loves, Jamie Alexander, he's mysteriously murdered and sent to the horrific realm of the damned. With the help of 2 other denizens of the pit, he somehow escapes back into the world of the living, but now there's hell to pay. 3 invincible bounty hunters called Reapers are determined to drag him back to the netherworld, where he'll writhe in torment forever. I remember this being really good. And, Greg Bishop. I had to look up more of his movies, because, I don't think he's made too many movies, and unfortunately I have forgotten him since then, so now I need to look it up and see if he's made any more movies, maybe a sequel to The Other Side, because I would like to see it. And I can't offhand recall what his other movies were, but if you look up Greg Bishop, and you'll be able to, find his other movies anyway. Because this one was pretty darn good. I remember, very entertaining. And now we have the original Fog for the first time. It's not the remake. I remember I did watch the remake, but I liked this one more. I liked the original more than the remake. There's one thing in the opening scene of this movie where it's just all of a sudden, like, something is wrong, and I mean, once again, spoilers, I guess, if you haven't seen it, but they're just kind of like showing around the town, whatever, and it looks calm and it looks kind of serene. And all of a sudden, like they show a shot of the gas station, and the gas pump just flies off out of nowhere. It just boom like that. And I probably shouldn't tell you so that it would take you by surprise. Now you've missed out on it if you listen to my spoiler. But I did enjoy this. Yeah, it is Jamie Lee Curtis. Okay. Adrienne Barbeau. I thought that might have been her right there. But yes. So, oh, excuse me. I remember liking this one very much as well. Now, what is this? Ain't It Cool News cannot praise this film enough. In the House of Flies? It is a Gabriel Carrer film? Director Gabriel Carrer, If a Tree Falls, Kill, Desperate Souls, returns with the retro 80s thriller In the House of Flies. Two young lovers, Heather, Lindsay Smith, and Stephen, Ryan Kotak, find their lives inadvertently changed forever when they're suddenly abducted. With no idea who has taken them or for what purpose, the couple struggle to escape. Alone, isolated, and imprisoned in a cold, unforgiving basement, Heather and Stephen soon find themselves pawns in the psychological game of their captor. Featuring music from 80s icons Saga and Brighton Rock, In the House of Flies is intense, horrific, well-acted, and thought-provoking. Dead Central. I own it. I don't know where I don't know where I came across it. I did get some movies from my horror block. Maybe it's a horror block movie. I don't know. But that's what that one is. Ta-da. This one I came across, Eternal Evil. My mother bought this one, I think my mother bought this one. And she was gonna watch like this. Oh, I want to say that's how I ended up with this one. We were gonna watch these old horror movies. A dissatisfied Montreal director of TV commercials is taught to astrally project himself by a mysterious woman, but he soon learns that he does this during sleep and against his will, committing savage acts on people in his life. So that's what this one is. I can't recall if I ever actually ended up watching it or not. But that's what this is. Okay, and one of my favorites from, was it 90s or early 2000s? Just trying to see here. It's either late 90s or early 2000s. 2001, Joyride. With a candy cane. Don't fuck with truckers. Don't fuck with truckers. They fucked with truckers, and it did not end well for them. They've made, I want to say there's at least 3 Joyride movies. I don't believe I've seen any of the others. I saw the first one. The first one was good enough. I don't know if it's supposed to be the same trucker character guy in the, second and third movie or not. But this is definitely, suspenseful, thrilling. He's chasing them down because they fucked with him, and it's a good, fun, suspenseful time there. Okay, I am going to save that one for last. And this is actually a different. I have 2 different versions of this movie. It's Playhouse. This is the German version or something. I don't know. It's an Asian movie or something. I don't actually know what country this came from. But this, I want to say I came across Playhouse either looking for something else. There's another one called Playhouse or something. I might have came across this on Netflix. But it's a low-budget horror/comedy movie. And it's one of those that it plays well with both sides. I remember there was something to do with something about tea or something. and I don't, the jokes are clever in this, because it's like, I mean, maybe it's kind of somewhat maybe Family Guy-ish humor, I guess, maybe, I don't know, but maybe not really. But I think it's clever jokes, and I remember something about tea, and then it turns out the guy actually brought tea with him or something. He's like, well, I'll just put this away, or so. I can't remember exactly what that joke was, but it came out of nowhere, and it was just it was so good. This is an original black comedy with gory horror. When a theater director at the Pittsburgh Playhouse is murdered, a detective, Nikitas Minotiades, and bumbling agent David Friday are assigned to the case. But the more they find out, the more the theater students start dropping like flies. They are all dyed with mystery. I have a feeling that's bad English translation there. If the ghost exists in this place, only thing they can do is save their ass and run. So I mean, it's in whatever language that is down there, and then, you know, translated into English up here. I bought both versions of this movie, just to say that I had both versions, I guess. But I don't know where the other one is, but this is a shiny slipcover. But, so Playhouse is definitely, like I said, there's two different Playhouse movies. This is the horror / comedy one that I think, you know, does pretty well. It may be a little bit more on the comedy side, if I remember correctly, and it's somewhat, you know, I mean, maybe it's somewhat a little bit cartoonish to take it very seriously for me, but I also enjoyed the comedy sections of it, so, you know, I'm cool with that. So, Playhouse. And in that same vein, in that same genre, this one is a much better movie, I would say, put together, plotted out. This one definitely has the horror, the comedy, some gore, some gorer if you want to do it, and I don't know. I have a slipcover for this one as well. Unfortunately, I don't know where it is right now, but this is one of my favorite movies ever. I love it. Dead and Breakfast. Love this movie. It's zombies. I mean, it is the only movie with a country cowboy singing Greek chorus. Him and his little band come in there in the middle of the scenes, and they kind of like describe what happened, and, you know, like the Greek chorus of the olden days. I love this movie. It's ridiculous in all the right ways, but also, like, you know, there's some scary parts and some suspenseful parts. And there is a star-studded cast to this motherfucker. We have, let's see, Ever Carradine. He's been in some stuff. Brent David Fraser, Bianca Lawson. She was Kendra on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I don't know actually if she ever did much of anything else. Jeffrey Dean Morgan is in this shit. Eric Palladino is in this shit. Oz Perkins, Gina Phillips, Jeremy Sisto, and with David Carradine and Diedrich Bader. I totally like murdered that name. They don't mention oh shit, what's her name? Ellen's wife was on Arrested Development. She's in one scene in this movie. But I can't think of her name. But I mean, I guess it's not necessarily all star. I mean, not all of them are stars. I mean, you know, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, definitely. Diedrich Bader is, you probably know him from the Drew Carey Show. He plays the butler, because they're on their way. These people are on their way to a wedding, and the bride is Ellen's wife, Ellen DeGeneres' wife, whose name I can't think of right now. So they're trying to make it to her wedding, and of course they take a wrong turn. They end up in this, you know, this town, and then there's this like evil demon that gets out and starts turning people into zombies, and yeah, it's a good fun time. Gosh, I was trying to think of what, and Diedrich Bader plays like a French, like David Carradine owns the, you know, bed and breakfast that these people show up at, and to stay the night. And of course it's a small town, you know, not a whole lot going on, but I'll just, and I wish I had there's two different versions of this, because one of the versions is a little bit longer than the other, and I don't actually know what the difference is, like what's missing from the other version. That's, but I made sure to get the right one, the one that has the most movie for my money. A totally entertaining splatter comedy, a film as hysterically funny as it is blood-splatteringly gory. 6 friends on a road trip gone wrong, a sleepy, creepy Texas town, a sinister inn with murder on the menu, and an army of the undead who can only be stopped by decimation or decapitation or chainsaw. If you think you've seen it all before, you're dead wrong. Eric Palladino, ER, U571, Ever Carradine, Once and Again, Jeremy Sisto, Wrong Turn, 6 Feet Under, and Gina Phillips, Jeepers Creepers, star in the action-packed, blood-drenched horror comedy that takes the genre to outrageous new extremes. Diedrich Bader, The Drew Carey Show, Portia de Rossi, thank you, Arrested Development, and David Carradine, Kill Bill, co-star in this acclaimed independent film, an independent hit that Fangoria magazine calls slapstick and horrifying, a mix of ghouls, giggles, and gore. Portia de Rossi. There it is. But yeah, there's David Carradine, and there's some zombies there, and there's the cowboy guy. So I mean, it has its own little soundtrack that goes along with it. So there's just like goofy songs and goofy movie. Like I think I came across this on Netflix, I believe, and it was kind of one of those where like I was in the mood for a horror movie, but I enjoyed the hell out of what I got with this movie, and I loved it very much, and it's a very special part of my collection now, because I love it so much. I mean, even the tongue-in-cheek Dead and Breakfast, the name of it and whatever. Like I wish I had the slipcover is kind of like 3D-ish, not really, but kind of. If I can find it, I will show that off at some point. Since I have to clip the movie together anyway, I found my slipcover for Dead and Breakfast. Yay! It's all blah blah blah. It's all like 3D and stuff. It's so cool. It's so cool. I love it. And look at all the peoples on the boxes. If you recognize faces and whatnot. So, of course, the front end, it's outrated and outrageous. I think I found a version that didn't have the sticker with it, and I'm like, I gotta have the sticker with it. Little guy down at the bottom is like, come here, come here. So, I found the slipcover. And then there's the little moon that goes out and away, and it's so cool. I love it. I love it so much. So, now you get to see it. And today, with two of my more favorite ridiculous, scary comedy horror films. So those two are together for a reason. But now Minxie is grooming me. Shoot. Blah, blah. But anyway, that's our 13th day. Take a look. Take a look. The top shelf is now empty. I can put my shit back. So the only movies left up there are like, well, that's like, what is that? That's Mafioso. That's another ridiculous. It's supposed to be a serious movie, but it is not a serious movie. It is a ridiculously bad movie. Mafioso is pretty fucking terrible. Which is why I own it. So, I think my friend Nick actually bought that for me. Because we ended up watching it together somehow. I don't know. But anyway, so the shelf is empty. I don't know where we're going to go from here. I don't know if I'm going to get into the VHS tapes. I don't know if I'm going to get into the boxes to see what's in the boxes. I don't know. I don't know where we're going from here. But that's for tomorrow. Today is over, and I will see you for what I see you. And so will Minxie, probably.